What's going on, everyone? Kane Michael here with Magnetic Magazine, and I'm so honored to be sitting next to one of the founders of techno. One of the reasons we're even sitting here in the first place, of course, the elevator, Mr. Kevin Saunderson. How are you, man?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good.
So, I mean, back in Miami, you've probably been coming here for quite a while, yeah?
I was coming here before it became to Miami Beach. It used to be in Fort Lauderdale. That's where it started. So he's talking about 89, right around there, 90. So yeah.
Wow. So how's it been for you so far since you came here today or this week?
It's been good. You know, I mean, the weather in Detroit is a lot colder, so you can never go wrong, even though it's a little windy here, a little rainy. But, you know, I played a couple parties already. I got a couple more to go. I've been out to a couple parties. So, you know, and I've eaten some really good seafood, so I'm happy.
Yeah, you can't beat the weather in the seafood here, that's for sure. Where have you played so far this week?
Yeah, I played my first gig. I'm trying to think, where was that at? I'm trying to remember. Shit, I can't remember. Too many tequilas already. But I played at the W last night in Miami. And the night before, I played, Space. How could I forget? I played on the Terrace in Space.
Oh, wow. How was that?
It was good. I mean, I actually woke up and went to play at 9 in the morning, so that was different. You know, I was like, I got a nice
eat some breakfast and then head to work, I guess.
Exactly. So that was cool.
How long have you been playing at Space?
I played Space only about 3 times in my career here, and of course I played in Ibiza many times. But yeah.
So how is the space here compared to the space in Ibiza?
It's different. Ibiza Space is, I think it's bigger. This one is a little more darker, but I love the Terrace at Space here. I love the Terrace in Ibiza. And obviously, if you don't know, there's no more space in Ibiza, so that's a little sad. But you know, hey,
it's time for something new, though, right?
Yeah, and you know, I always have good sound, good memories, and you know.
So, big year for you guys right now. Kms Records is in its 30th year. Your record label has been around longer than I've been alive. That's crazy. So what's going on with that?
Well, you know, I mean, many of the artists that have come up, Chaz Demir, Ron Trent, Kenny Larkin, Carl Craig, and just MK, they started back then when I started my label. A few years later, they were putting stuff out through KMS or one of my subsidiary labels. And to me, 30 years is definitely an accomplishment. And so we've been going out touring so far this year. We did San Francisco, we've done Chicago, we've done Detroit. We have a party here at the Surf Corner coming up Sunday, and we're going to do London, we're going to do Paris. We're going to do multiple shows, different combination of DJs, some Detroit DJs, some European DJs. Just people who either played on the label or been a part or associated somehow in some way. So it's a real pleasure to be able to do that.
Speaking of MK, I think I read a story where you were talking about MK would come to your studio when he was a kid and just like watch you and just kind of try and learn.
Yeah, he mainly came, he watched, because I was the first one to really do the remix like we know it, like get rid of all the other artists' music and just give my imprint completely. So he was around at the time, so he was like, you know, observing very well. And then he obviously signed to the label, and then he started putting records out and doing his own remixes on my label. And I remember distinctively, I used to live in my studio too. It was like a warehouse. So, and then before I expanded, my studio was right next to my bedroom. But I let him come over there, and I'm trying to sleep, and he making all these bad grooves, right? I'm like, man, that's great. I mean, sometimes I want to get up out of my sleep. Tell him, don't get rid of that, because you know, as a producer, sometimes you keep moving, and you know.
Yeah, you can't stop the groove, right?
Right. So yeah, we got a lot of history.
That's so cool, and I really think it's super crucial and super cool that you're really investing in this kid and just letting him learn. And now look what he's go on to become. Do you find that to be important that other artists, bigger artists, do that as well?
I think when you see the passion from an artist or wannabe, or they don't know yet, it's important to grasp them and give them a little direction, but let them be free and let them find their way, you know. And that's kind of how I've been with any artist on KMS. There's no bad record. Never there's no bad record. That don't mean I put out any record, but you're free to express a record. And if I like it, if I think it's good, then I'll release it. For me, that doesn't mean it's not good. It just means like for what I think it is. But I just try to give that kind of freedom and support, and I think it helps.
So, I mean, another huge event going on this year is, of course, Movement, but the Belleville 3 is getting back together for a serious performance. For those of you who don't know, Belleville 3, they've created techno. They are what techno is. So that was ages ago, and here you are playing together again at Movement. What are your thoughts going into this? I mean, how is this all about to go down? What are people what do they have in store for themselves?
Well, you're going to hear some of our classic records. You're going to hear some re-edits, some special moments, but we're going to all play together on 3 different setups, and, we're going to basically be tag teaming with each other with some effects, maybe some drum machines. This is actually the beginning of the concept, because our foresight is it's going to turn into a live show, a live tour, but not yet. It's a DJ tour. So I make that clear to people that we'll elevate into a live show over the next few years.
So everybody's just going to have their own CDJs and everything?
Our CDJs, our turntables, whatever we use, effect units, and we're going to play over each other, in a way we're going to make the crowd dance and make them rock and give it
rock them.
Detroit style.
That's where it all came from. That's amazing. So, are you excited? I mean, I'd imagine you're excited to get back on the stage with those guys, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's an exciting moment. I think we're still doing it individually very well, playing great parties around the world, and for us to come home and do it, it's an exciting moment,
So it's KMS 30-year anniversary, and you said you're kind of going to come back and retouch some classics and such, but what about new music from yourself? You got anything new cooking in the studio?
Oh, definitely. Right now we got a record coming out, Inner City Records, called Good Luck. Not Good Life, Good Luck.
Good luck, not good life.
There you go. So I did that with Dantes, my son. He actually started the record. I heard it and said, "Hey, that sounds like me." So we finished it together, and he's really been a significant part of that record. And we got more Inner City Records coming out. We have different records from different artists all over the world. We don't just release just my music or Detroit music. We release what we feel that we love and like and feel. So we have several projects continue to come. There's E-Dancer record coming. It's an album, even though we don't look at albums like we used to. It's an album worth of material that will be spread out. It's kind of like my old album, refreshed in a different way with some new tracks that was released over the last few years. So it's a lot going on.
So speaking of your son, I mean, it's pretty incredible that your son is also a pretty established DJ at this point. How did that all happen? I mean, was he just like watching you like in the studio and said, "I want to do that, Dad," or what?
Well, not really. It happened by accident, I think, or I mean, it maybe not accident, but his destiny was it wasn't through me. The path was he moved out and he lived with some friends. They happened to be DJs, and then he ended up moving back in maybe 6 months later, and he said, "Dad, I'm DJing." "Oh, what you mean you DJing?" "I'm working on music. I'm learning how to." That's when he really wanted to. You could tell he was really he had this bug, this high that he wanted to.
The flame was ignited.
Yeah. And then, of course, once I seen he was serious and it wasn't like he wanted to play, I started to let him travel with me, took him on some tours so he can get a good overview of just all.
Are you sure you really want to do this kind of a thing? And then he said, "Absolutely."
Oh, he didn't have to say it. He showed it because he stayed in the studio. He stayed on the turntable. The music never stopped in the house. I had to build a special room that was soundproof because I wasn't used to that, only me making music. So, and it led from his older brother making music. He inspired him, and then they formed the Saunderson brothers together, and then Dantes also does his own solo projects. So, yeah.
So both of your sons make techno and DJ. I mean, the techno family, how awesome is that? What about your older son? How did your older son get into it?
Well, through Dantes, really. I think Dantes inspired him, and he was playing professional baseball, and that career ended. And
What team was he on?
Philadelphia, Philly.
Wow.
Yeah, but he didn't make it to the big leagues, but he was still in the level of professional baseball. But he got injured, and I think it just happened at the time that Dantes was about a year in, so it motivated him. He started practicing, and they make a nice team together too.
So, throughout your career, where have been some of your favorite parties on the planet? You guys have played that Kappa Future Festival, yeah?
Kappa Future Festival. I don't know.
Maybe that was Derek May that played that one. Okay, well then, and just throughout the world, where have been some of your favorite places?
I mean, I've done some great parties in Tokyo. Love Tokyo. Love the sound there. Love the energy of the people. Love the place, right? So I've had some amazing parties there.
Great food too, huh?
Huh?
Say great food in Tokyo?
It's amazing. You think Tokyo, you think like sushi. No. I don't even eat sushi. I eat everything.
Ramen?
I eat ramen, yakitori, chicken wings. That's like special.
Japanese and Korean people are serious about their wings.
Man, the best. I tried to go back and imitate it, but I couldn't get it right. So that's, I mean, I always love going there. I love going to had some great parties in Australia. It's so far away, but had some special moments in 89 when I went over there, and we did Inner City in Sydney, and it was like, I didn't know what to expect. It was like 20,000 people in a warehouse, and it was just packed, and they just loved us so much because the vibe, you could feel all the electricity there. Yeah, it was just amazing. So that was another amazing party. Space, me, playing with Carl Cox. I had some great events with him. We did some back-to-backs together.
I saw a video of you guys. I don't remember when. It might have been 2003. It's a video of you guys going back-to-back, both on turntables and stuff. And Carl Cox, of course. Oh, Carl Cox, Kevin Saunderson. But it was just, you guys were playing fast and heavy. It was
heavy. It was definitely heavy. It was in Rotterdam, I think.
Yeah, yes.
Exactly.
So when's the last time you played a record like that?
It's been a while, as far as that BPM, I mean, even though I still push it sometimes to 130, but
slowed it down a bit, huh?
Yeah, I'm usually right around 126, 127. And I like to close a little faster at the end in most cases. But, music changes over the years, so there's a lot of good quality music out too right now. And
it seems like right now the techno and house scene is just very healthy.
I think it's very healthy, no doubt about it.
So,
find it. I mean, I get it all. When I say it's hard to find it, it's just you get so much. You got to take time to get through it all and then find what you really like.
So much good that you just don't even know where to start. Yeah. So, 30 years of your record label, a lot has changed, but at the same time, a lot has stayed the same. When it comes to making a new record, you're sitting down, all right, I'm going to make a new record. What has stayed the same and what has changed throughout your career?
Well, technology's changing every year, so you can do some things a lot quicker. Like back in the day, we recorded to analog tape. The tape is spinning. It takes time. You got to do that. You got to rewind the tape to play it back. So everything is a lot slower. Now things move faster. You record right into the hard drive. If that's what you do, but that's the majority a lot of producers doing. We're in a digital world. Editing, you can splice stuff up a lot quicker. Back then it was tape. You cut it. It's definitely different. Take a lot more time. And as far as my creating sounds back then compared to now, it's pretty similar.
Tweak until you like it.
Right, and you deal with the parameters. The parameters are the same and everything in some kind of way. So that is the same. As far as inspiration, that just comes from creating sounds for me. So I create the same way. I don't have to change anything. It can happen a little quicker than before.
So last question: someone as prolific as yourself, you've been everywhere. You've done it all. You've seen it all. I'm not really sure what else there is to do, but for new producers, new DJs that are coming up, what is the one piece of advice that you think is super crucial that they know?
I think that they know their tools. I think it's very important to really understand the tools you're working at. And don't overwhelm yourself with too much. A lot of people want every type of software, every type of synth. It's better to have, like back in the day, I had 2 or 3 keyboards, and that was it. Of course, I got more now, but I don't get caught up in feeling like I have to get inspiration and I have 30 different keyboards, because what happens is you find yourself going in a circle. So learn what you got, master it, get something out of it, and then the other stuff, it's not going nowhere. It's still there too, and you can every now and then bring in something new. So otherwise, you'd be going in circles.
Well, there you have it. It doesn't get better than that, right? Once again, I'm K. Michael with Magnetic Magazine, and this is the elevator of techno, the king himself, Mr. Kevin Saunderson. Thanks for talking to us, man.